Boom, boom, gat, boom, 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 gat. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, gat, boom, boom, gat. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, 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 pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, gat, boom, 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 gat. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, gat, boom, boom, gat. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it, 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 pop it, lock it, drop it. Wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, yeah. Yeah. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Pop it, lock it, drop it. Boom, boom, yeah. Boom, boom, yeah. They wonder how I dance like that. 2 steps forward, then I'll bring it right back. Pop it, lock it, drop it. 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 Pop it, lock it, drop it.
Here, come on in. Crystal's here, let's begin. No time for that fake stuff. Diamond in the rough, we dive in. Nose wide. Real talk, hit it hard. Opinions raw and real. Crime talk, that's the deal. Crystal's crime conversations. Real talk. No hesitations. Crystal's crime conversations. Fun around raw. All sensations. Come on in. Fun and raw, all sensations. Let's go.
She's got 2 days ago, but she didn't show. Oh, she don't show you. She wanted Chase to be asked if he thinks she should go to the vigil. Just back chat of her getting the answer. I see what you did there, suspect Brown, she says. So this is Jody in the Discord way back when they were using her for money and gifts and all the things. Bunny 4891 is Jody. It says Penny FYT. Can you ask chase his thoughts on me attending the vigil because I worry either way. But while eyes are turned towards it, it is a good time for others to fuck with me here, too. And then she writes, I worry about driving myself in there, so I'm seeing if I can find someone to scoop me up. Then she shares a screenshot, and it's Penny. Penny says, Jody Sue, Chase said it's up to you. He thinks you should stay out of the, hold on, I can't see, out of the cameras, though, so no one knows where you are. Then, hold on. Jody says, pretty sure that ship has sailed, LOL, or does he mean media? Because I don't do media. Penny says, fake fish. Jody says, yeah, but also know who it is possibly. Scott H says, I have no idea. Still a nice thought and letter. I don't even know what that means. Jody says media, Penny, or something else. Then she writes Q. Then she writes that comment by Lisa Sandros. I see her often in here. She seems okay. Is she just overthinking of danger? Are you taking a break until the vigil starts? If so, I'm going to do the same. Can I come back to you? Maybe I'll do more good here than at the vigil, and Chase won't have to worry. So this is a screenshot Crystal is showing. So 2 days ago, look how he tried to push them together. This was the live that Benny did 6 months ago. Did JSB commit too early to law enforcement? And Crystal has a problem with that live stream. It was the upload. Okay. Okay, gotta admit this one was funny. So this is Benny doing his impression of JLR in the bushes. So this is a bit bipolar, as you can see. She thinks Benny's funny, but then she's mad at Benny in the same, 12 hours or so. 2 days ago, why did he push so hard for Ernie to be guilty? So many have. Benny Keys, 1 year ago, Summer sent Ernie, where's Summer Wells? 2 days ago, why is she so involved from so early on? She's talking about AF Pennington. Then she shares an intro that Benny had made for, he was doing like a Don Wells, he was doing like interviews with Don at night, and he had made an intro, and she shared that. And she said, remember all the high-tech shit in Don interviews? 2 days ago, Benny sending me threats to be prepared tomorrow. Guess I got to be ready. The one before that says, everyone go throw some hearts in Benny's comments, make them rainbow. Oh my God. 2 days ago, she shares another one. Benny Keys at Crystal's Crime Time on the snitch. 2 days ago, he did a live stream. She says, is he serious? I'll laugh my fucking ass off. Not Stacey Slayfool, just smarter than you. What does that mean, Crystal? Not Stacey Slayfool, just smarter than you? Crystal, what are you talking about Stacey Slay for? That one stand out to me. I don't know why, but it just does. See, Crystal started doing this when I started bringing out the receipts of Stacey. She immediately went for Linda. The second that Linda provided screenshots of what actually went down in Penny's emails for true crime commentary, Crystal started in with all of the distractions and attacking Linda and threatening Linda that she knows where she lays her head down at night. Why? Why would you do that, Crystal? Are you a part of the fake Fed situation? I don't know why you would do this at a time like this. And I can't go without noticing that you're doing it. Like, for real.
I will be stepped away from the chat for a minute. I'm going to read Linda and mine's conversation. Linda reaches out to me 7/5/2022 at 9:22 p.m. I hate to bother you, but someone told me about your chicken fighting video. I saw the lady on Benny's, and I'm curious, do you think you could put it back up? I find that Crazy Karen is on Benny's and from Beach Creek. Sorry, guys. My nose is itchy. I'm itchy. It's hot still. I put, I am not at this point. I turned it into the feds, and I do not want to hinder anything. That was after Benny pushed me to turn it into the feds. They all was like going live, turn it in, turn it in. It was a dumbass fucking video. It wasn't even finished. Oh man, was it that serious? I put, I think so, because at this time I was just starting to, and it looked like witchcraft to me. I didn't understand things till Karen taught me about their way of living in that area. Okay. Just give it a minute here. We're going to let it scroll. She sends me Karen's profile. Is this the right lady? I put, I'm not going to give any details at this point. I'm so sorry. That's because I was being stalked. She put, this might interest you. It's a bill to toughen cockfighting law. Delivered another setback. I put, I will read it. Thank you. January 6th, 2023 at 12:07 a.m. That would probably be the day that TM had the live with the 13-hour call. We were in the comment section. Linda told me I could reach out to her. Penny told me she wanted to talk to me. I started corresponding with both about different things. I believe, don't quote me with Penny, but Linda, yeah. I know I was mad. In that live, I believe she said anybody could ask her anything. I know you smell death on Dawn's site. Tell me about it. Clear yourself or I'm bringing you up in all kinds of ways. I'm also going to repost my rooster video soon. Not sure when. Maybe that was a little demanding, but that's because they brought out this funky 13-hour call. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this shit? Okay? She put, it was a dead dog in a dumpster. It wasn't in a house, and the TBI checked it out with another police department. Linda, I would like to see proof of that. Why are you so involved in this with Scott? Why was you in discords with Penny? Construction dumpsters are dumped in the site separately, and they checked that, she says. It makes you look guilty. Where did Stacy Slay come from and where did she go? I ask her. Oh. How does JSB and Luke connect to Tucker and Amanda Athey? I missed that. Just give it a minute. I gave it time for people to read. So if you want to come back, slow it down, zoom it in, see that what I'm reading is the correct words, you could do that. It's an 18-minute video. I'm just going to let it play so that the text stays on my screen. It's about to change. I thought, yeah, okay. I haven't been in Discord in a year, and that Stacy Slay appeared in Penny's email. I will send you that video as soon as you start talking. Don't come at me. I want this little girl found as bad as you do. Go live with me tomorrow. I left all the people because of the backstabbing and distractions, she says. I put, let's talk about it. Let's get all this straightened out. The reward funds, chase, billboards, all of it. I can't go live because I have an active case going, which is why my channel hasn't been updated. Linda, an active case for what? A lawsuit? Who was you suing or threatening? Like, what in the motherfuck is going on here? What do you have an active case for? I put with Summer. She put, but I can give you a direction to research, which I have been working on for over a month, against JSB. I put, okay, what is that? And threats made by a motorcycle gang at my home, she says. Check chat. Rappers under everybody's feet. I think I'm skipping shit. Oh no, that's still the same. Okay, it's changing. Oh, nope, I missed some. I hadn't been in Discord in a year, and threats made by a motorcycle gang to my home. Hold on. Okay. I must have missed something here. What the hell happened? Oh, here we go. Start with Brianna Tester, second Facebook page. You will see an Alexis Wells. Now, Alexis Wells is a little girl that Cam covered that ran away from home. And they said, saved her. They attacked this Brianna Tester because she had saved the baby in the past, and they were accusing her of trying to save Summer because Brianna and Candace are friends on Facebook. I put, she is dead. She put, yes, she is gone. I put, hasn't this been disproven? She put, look at the profile on a, look at the photo on the profile closely. Then go to Candace's old page. I put, I do not understand why you need to research Dawn when you knew him long before. She worked for Tucker. She's on the property. I'm assuming that she knew Dawn. She knows everybody he works with, right? Alexia is there with a different last name. I never knew Dawn, she says. I put, you are Tucker's daycare provider. How are you on the work site if you do not know him? I'm sure she put, I'm not sure where you get your information, but I never knew the Wills. I put, we have a friend in common that said you told her this way back at the start of this case. She put, I'm a private childcare who kept 3 families that work for Tucker, not exclusively. Hold on. So as you see, I never threatened to hurt Linda in any manner, but for some reason, Tiffany was under the impression I was threatening Linda and spreading it on her channel. I don't know why. Maybe Linda was making it up. I don't know. Okay, that 3 families that work for Tucker, not exclusively Tucker. I keep many children. I put, how did you know prior that Chase was setting JSB up with the fake Fed Stacy? She put, I didn't. Penny introduced me to Chase. Where did Penny meet Chase? She said through Tiffany. No way, no freaking way. It turned out that was Tiffany admitted to that. She said, yeah. However, we just heard Penny yesterday, or one of these days I covered, say that no, she introduced Tiffany to Chase. So I'm a little baffled by that. She put, I have never met Chase, only talked to him. He was supposed to meet me and show me his phone, and he backed out. Both have said Penny introduced them. Tiffany says the same, so I don't know. And then I fixed my spelling error into introduced. You need to go live and tell people all of your connections, I say to her. Sorry, guys. I'm waiting for it to switch. We're 5 minutes in. Oh, I have a lot more. This is shady. Where does Luke fit in Squall and Scott? There are only 2 people I ever met personally, were Nana for life and Yennefer. How interesting. Christy, all of them, it has been too long, and the one name that keeps popping up is yours. Scott, I talked to in AB's Discord and Squall through her channel because I knew Tennessee Truth. Well, that's a lie. Because Scott said on the panel I shared with Tiffany's fake feds that he called Linda minute 1, day 1. So Linda lied to me. Or Scott's lying. Which one is lying? She put, I don't know Christy either, except what's been said through YouTube. I put, how did you know prior to the fake Fed shit that was going to happen? She put, I didn't. I put, look, I knew before it happened, and I was told you said the person that told me. That was A.B. Young. I'm not sure what you mean, or B.A. Young. B.A. Young was my friend. She gave me small bits of your shit you said to her. Brenda has never proven to me, because that's her real name, what you said, but I believe her, and she knew it was Chase and Penny setting it up. I can't prove that because my Facebook's gone. I'm going to check and see if I saved any messages between us. I'm here, guys. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Hey, Mama Bear. Hey, Legend, Mama, Mother. Okay, let's see. Jeez, I let this one go a long time. I apologize. I just don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure you get every message between Linda and myself. I have looked crazy, fought with people over the secret. I'm talking about the smell of the dog that she said was a dog. I have kept about the fucking dead dog. I believe it was Summer or made up. That was my thoughts at the time. I know you spoke to Brenda. How did she have that info beforehand? Okay, you're talking about the fake Fed lady. She emailed Penny. Yes, is that not Stacy? I said, and sent some stuff, and Penny questioned her. She said she was working with the card team. Penny put her in Discord, and the three of us talked with another person. She was convincing and told us a bunch of stuff. I put, how did you know she emailed Penny? Did you see the email? Why Penny? It makes no sense. We believed her first, then she refused to show proof, and I got skeptical, especially when she promised to help me with my son's case that she suddenly doesn't want shared. However, she was over in Nashville sharing it with the people of the murder billboard, Lisa K, right? Key, not K. Sorry, I keep doing that. We're getting there. Oh, shoot. I skipped some. Hold on, I gotta let. Oh, no. What am I doing? Let's let it play till where we were. I'm gonna come to chat. I hope you're all doing well tonight. I want to get to the end of these because she shows me the emails. But the real reason I wanted to show these, I don't even care that we read through them. I could put them out if you guys really want to see them. I don't want to waste a lot of time on these because this is an 18-minute video here and I have more to show. But I did not do what Tiffany said I did. That is not what happened. And this is clear proof and evidence of that. And this is her offering me the information about the fake feds. This is not me begging her for it. She offered it. She gives it to me. And then she sues me. Oh, mother. Thank you, honey. You've been so good. I want you to know that. Thank you. But this is just insanity, and it goes on and on. We can read through them another time. I'm getting a little antsy here. But hold on, let me shut some tabs down. I want to take a little break from this. There's a reason for it. Today something was let out about a police officer in Florida who was involved in, let me stop this. And let me see what else I got here, because we're going to come back to this video I have said here in just a minute. But before we do this, I want to show you that there are corrupt police officers out there all over the United States. And I'm going to show you a case that interfered with Madeline Soto's case. And the police officer's in trouble now, and now it might put Madeline's case in jeopardy, and it has to do with racketeering. I think you should watch this because as we move on, I'm going to start talking about Millersville and Kelly Fustos. I have some discords here that I slowed down because they've never been slowed down. They were put out really fast. I can't remember who put these out. But we're going to go through some of these discords and read what they're saying about Rouche. I noticed the name as I was looking, but I want you to see how similar this is to the shit that's going on in, what is it, Millersville? Whatever. So, okay. Let's listen to what's going on in Florida today.
Fox 35 Newsroom, and joining us for today's Top 4 at 4 is Fox 35 news anchor John Brown. And John, we appreciate you joining us.
Yep, Top 4 at 4, it's all one story.
It is all one story.
Multiple angles right now because this story is getting headlines somewhat nationally, but definitely in every corner of Florida here. So we start with the big news today. Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez has been arrested on charges of racketeering and conspiracy to commit racketeering. This is over his alleged involvement in a major, years-long illegal gambling operation in a couple of counties that they know of. He was arrested today earlier in his uniform. The video of his arrest was released by Homeland Security agents in the Tampa area. And as you can see, that's him being arrested there. He appears to mouth the words, "What's this about?" Now, we're just debating why he was there. They must have called him in and then sprung that on him. So he was arrested Thursday morning and booked into jail. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis immediately suspended him as the sheriff. Now, again, this story making news all across the country because, well, it's shocking that an elected official accused of such serious charges, and one of our law enforcement experts, Jamie Copenhaver, he sounded off about this today. He was shocked too.
Those are some shocking revolutions. I mean, anytime you're dealing with a racketeering charge, I mean, that carries a serious prison sentence, Garrett. I think there's still a minimum mandatory on a racketeering charge if convicted. So, the sheriff's going to have a lot of hurdles to jump over to build a defense on this case. But, the gambling aspect of that's shocking. And then campaign finance.
And it has been interesting to see some of those details of what they are accusing him of.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now, because actually, when you hear the number, everybody's kind of like, dang, this is a big deal. Okay, so here's what they've uncovered in their investigation, they say. According to the criminal complaint, Lopez was connected to, aware of, or part of an illegal gambling operation that ran lotteries and slot machines. Officials say the organization generated more than $21 million in illegal proceeds over the past few years. So the sheriff now facing these charges, racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, and they said multiple others maybe also are going to be arrested in the days to come. Now, following his election as the sheriff back in November of 2020, so he's been in office 5 years, investigators say he continued to advance the interests of that criminal organization and even collected a portion of the gambling proceeds for his involvement.
Yeah, very serious allegations. You mentioned the dollar amount. It's just kind of blows your mind to hear that.
I mean, what's also interesting is we do these stories often about these, slot machines in the back of a bar and different stories like that. But then when you have the sheriff allegedly as a part of this, and we're going to get into this in a second, but I mean, I already started looking back to the arrest previously. How many people has he busted for this? Well, that puts many of those cases in jeopardy. Again, we'll get to that in just a second. But again, I mean, this is the crime right next door. You hear, oh, there's a bar next door. They're doing some gambling in there. And then the accusation is not only was he behind it, he was profiting from it. Now, to what extent? I'm also curious to see if he was the front for law enforcement in this case, where they, and we're going through some scenarios here that I talked to some officers about where, he permits it to happen because he's taking a cut. And he said that's a likely scenario here. They doubt that he would come up with a criminal enterprise like this to be brought into it on the flip side. And this could have gone back a long time. Once we get the full details of how long it's been going on, then we'll have a better idea. But one of the guys I talked to today also said, if this has been going on prior to him being in office, then one thing that law enforcement is going to look into is who donated to him to run for sheriff in the first place. That could be very interesting. If they find out that some of these other guys are associated here, they go back and see who helped fund the money for that first election and the second election too. Wow, this is going to there's a lot of tentacles going out on this one. It could go a long, long ways.
Yeah, and this is really just the first, to mix metaphors here, this is just the first thread that's kind of being pulled as we are learning of it.
And what they normally say is the biggest one doesn't go down first. A lot of times the big one goes, in anticipation of getting the bigger one, right? That's your pin right there.
Yeah.
You get this guy and say, okay, well, we could go easier on you. You know, again, we're playing out the scenario here. We go easy on you. You have to go here. And I mean, wow, this investigation has to be so intricate. And I'm fascinated by investigations like this when you start putting the pieces together. So we'll see. And again, innocent until proven guilty. But that's where we are right now.
Yeah, and the Attorney General's office saying today that he initially engaged the operation for campaign contributions and personal payments, but then played a multifaceted role in expanding and protecting this illegal enterprise, using his office to shield the enterprise from law enforcement.
If you're going, I mean, this is, we all know the stories about Chicago crime, right? When Chicago crime happened, the only way they were able to actually expand the crime operations, and it happens in other cities, but Chicago is one that I'm intricately aware of. The only way you can expand these operations and keep them growing is if you have police on your side, or judges, or investigators, because somebody's got to squash the investigations. And that's what happened in Chicago. So you see a story playing out like this, and it's like, wow, that's why it's such big news. There's so many facets to the story today.
It's fascinating, and we've gotten some reaction from state leaders. This statement from Attorney General James Othmeyer coming in earlier today.
Yeah, basically solemn day in Florida for our law enforcement community. Put this one here. We put great trust in our constitutional officers, especially those who are our community's first line of defense. And he goes on to say about how it's going to be proceeded here. But again, it's not just law enforcement. I mean, this is one of those stories where even my wife jumping on a plane said, I just saw the headline that you guys pushed out. So, you know, sheriffs are a powerful position here in Florida. And if you're new to this area, it's not like most states. Like in Missouri, we didn't even know who a sheriff was. It was just a minor position. Here, some of these guys have that strong sheriff model where they think they're more powerful than the governor. So that culture goes back a long time into the 1800s here in Florida. So these are powerful individuals, and they have a lot at their disposal. That's why I think this is getting so much attention here.
And his statement from Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, who strong words as you would expect from
these
him.
guys all know each other too. So these guys have to release statements on somebody or people they know intricately. He says, I'm extremely disappointed and shocked by Sheriff Lopez's criminal conduct. He has embarrassed himself, his family, and the great men and women who work at the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. His conduct is outrageous, unprofessional, and obviously corrupt. He forgot the first rule in public service: no one is above the law. So, I mean, again, he didn't hold back. I mean, some of the others have been a little less, but you'll never get Grady Judd to hold back a little bit. But even like Mark Nejame. Mark Nejame has been really outspoken in some of these cases that we've covered here on Fox 35. And he's been outspoken against the sheriff, the way he handled the recent investigations. And so attorneys here have also had issues with him, and I think this is their chance now to pile on. You're going to see a lot of that today.
The governor has suspended Sheriff Lopez from office, and a replacement has been named. And we want to go now to Fox 35's Stephanie Buffamonte, who joins us live outside the Osceola County Sheriff's Office to tell us more about who this is stepping in to this role, to take over this role of Osceola County Sheriffs. Good afternoon, Stephanie.
Good afternoon, Garrett. So that is going to be Christopher Blackman. He is the interim sheriff here. So a lot happening inside the sheriff's office behind me here today in terms of leadership. Now, a little bit about him. He's with Florida Highway Patrol. He leads actually 850 sworn troopers and is the statewide immigration commander for all 67 Florida counties. So he already has this big leadership role in Florida, and specifically in Central Florida, an FHP, overseeing so many troopers there. We know that he has volunteered for Make-A-Wish and the Special Olympics, and that he just has a long background in law enforcement.
And Stephanie, what happens with this position now? How long will he be kind of filling this out? We know things are a little bit different because Lopez has just been suspended, not necessarily removed from office. But where do things stand, and kind of what's next?
So that's what's kind of.
Hey, you guys rock. Thank you so very much, Becca. I'm very appreciative. You guys know that. You guys rock so much. Thank you.
of up in the air right now because of that point that you just made. Marcos Lopez, he is was suspended by the governor, but he has not been removed. If he is removed, that's when things will start going. So if he's removed, that will prompt a special election. That would fall in tandem with fall elections in August and November of 2026. So we're talking a little while here that the interim sheriff would be in place until that moment. If elected, whoever is elected in the special election, if that does happen, they would serve the remainder of the term, but then there would be another election for 2028. So a lot of moving parts here right now. We're just going to take them as they come.
Yeah, still a lot to see. Fox 35 says Stephanie Buffamonte, we appreciate you joining us this afternoon here on Fox 35 News Plus.
Thank you.
So that is certainly an interesting kind of wrinkle in all of this.
Now let's go back to this final one here, because this is the one that I think is going to have some resounding effects down the road here. Big question, what happens to the cases that he's currently working? And that's why I was trying to look back and see if he had addressed any racketeering cases, if he had looked into, well, any criminal enterprise stories like this. Homeland Security's involved here. So the stories that the crimes that he is investigating, that he's been involved with, even ones that have already gone to trial and people may be in jail, all the attorneys who have handled those cases are now wondering what happens next. And we talked to Belvin Perry today, and he kind of lays it out what could happen here.
Yeah, because he said, really, this hurts the credibility of the entire office, not.
Belvin Perry was Casey Anthony's judge, for any of you that don't remember.
Just the sheriff himself.
Yeah. And you're talking about one of the fastest, if not the fastest growing county in the fastest growing state in the country. There's a lot of cases at risk here.
Thank you.
Not only will they push and lean into it, you will see during the verdure jury selection process, they will ask numerous questions about the believability and credibility of law enforcement officers, that they're just like anyone else. They will also ask, have you heard about the sheriff in Osceola County being arrested? And try to determine what effect, if any. And the problem is it stains the credibility of the fine men and women who wear the uniform. People now are going to look at them a little differently.
So he said, even when you're talking about jury selection, a lot of times they do ask about how do you feel about the testimony of law enforcement. And, he said, expect it to come up from defense attorneys bringing it up, calling into question and credibility. So a lot of impacts on cases that are still pending.
Yeah, just wait for the appeals at this point, see who decides to try and test these waters. And that's why I think they brought in a guy who's well respected by so many people. So maybe that'll calm it down for just a little bit, get the footing again in Osceola County so they can move forward. But get through this and then see where they go. And
I also asked Judge Perry specifically about the Matty Soto case.
That's what everybody's thinking about right there.
Of course. And, especially because this is not the first time that there has been issues with this sheriff's office, specifically about that case. And what Judge Perry said was he thinks the evidence in that case is enough to speak for itself, that it probably will not have a large impact. Right. But, you never know.
Any other case that's questionable. Now, in this case, though, if you remember, the reason why we covered him so much was because he had released that picture that wasn't supposed to be out there. And we asked him about that. We had the debate here for Osceola County Sheriff in our studios. And we asked him about that. But it also makes me think back about if they've been watching him for this long, they were watching our debate very closely as well. So now I want to go back and watch the debate and see what topics we brought up to see what was discussed there, because there could have been some topics that may tie into this. So we're going to have to go look at that again.
This is just, like you said, just the tip of the iceberg. Still going to be many more details to come out of this. But that is our top 4 at 4. Today's big story, the arrest of Osceola.
So, So a little later on in the news broadcast, this was live for a little bit. They talk some more about it. If you guys want to go to the link and watch it, but do you see how corruption can really harm bigger cases? Now, in the cases we're talking about, I feel like the corruption includes the missing children. That's an opinion. That's speculation. That's not truth. It's not fact. It's just based off of the things that I've seen, which I'm going to show you next. I want to go back to this Millersville. That's the name of it. Just to remind you what we were talking about this afternoon. And I have actually 2 news clips here. Which one? Okay, I have 2 news clips here. I believe this is the one that will go with the Fustos discords that I found. I saved from someone. I don't know who posted it. Thank you for posting it. It might have been Tiffany. I don't know. Or Penny. A long time ago. I tend to just grab things and put them in my Canva and watch them later. And I think I've shared some of these before, but I don't think it was what we're going to share today. Okay.
In on Millersville Police, the department's controversial assistant chief and his allies now going on the attack. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. Not long after the TBI wrapped up its rage yesterday in Millersville, Assistant Chief Sean Taylor turned to some far-right allies to tell his story. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams has the latest.
As the TBI was raiding Millersville Police on Wednesday, Sean Taylor sent out a short video to rally his allies. Before the night was up, he and his friends were throwing out some brand new allegations.
We are live with breaking news, the biggest corruption story in America.
In the darkest corners of the internet, where the most bizarre theories of the QAnon conspiracy movement abound.
From the harvesting of organs to adrenochrome, guys, this is real stuff.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation raids on the Millersville Police Department are fueling new conspiracies.
Sean Taylor, Assistant Chief of Millersville Police Department, just had his home invaded with no warrant.
In fact, the search of Sean Taylor's home was based on a warrant issued by a judge.
Chief Taylor's in the house.
Oh, well, it's been a heck of a day today, gentlemen.
On another podcast, the conspiracy-minded assistant police chief presented himself as a victim.
It's very disheartening to know that you have law enforcement at the state level, district attorneys and judges that are executing search warrants on an agency that is trying to take out corruption.
Agents were looking for files that Taylor and Millersville PD may have compiled using sensitive law enforcement data as he pursued his bizarre conspiracy theories, potentially even investigating his political enemies.
And one of the TBI agents that we were looking at, and you know, we believe we've got reasonable suspicion to believe that he's involved because his name keeps.
Okay, this is where they're going to start talking about Rouche and some other people. I think. I know we watched it earlier too. If you missed my earlier live, and you're welcome, Mimi Jean. Thank you for being here, hon. It's been a while since I've seen you. I don't know if he has a scar over his eye. I'm curious why you ask that, though. Okay.
Keeps popping up. He was one of the ones that helped execute the search warrant today on us.
Taylor has claimed that some of the most powerful political figures in the world are involved in child sex trafficking, and he now claims TBI Director David Rouche was put in place by that same cabal.
Sean Taylor investigated and he found out too much. That's my personal opinion.
Also coming to Taylor's defense, the man behind what appears to have been a botched child predator sting run by a controversial nonprofit group out of Tucson. Following questions raised by News Channel 5 Investigates, agents were looking for evidence.
They're all in political power or part of the police department, Sean Taylor's team.
That the lead detective in that case may have committed perjury.
So that's inside baseball. That's law enforcement stuff. That's not the business of any news reporter, and that's not my business. So
while the TBI continues its investigation, Sean Taylor and his allies are hoping to rally like-minded people to rise up in opposition to the scrutiny he now faces.
This needs to reach the highest levels. This needs to go national.
And there was some talk in Sean Taylor circles
that was just about over. But what he was saying is he wants Rouche off of these cases. So now we're going to go to this Discord. Okay. Kelly Fustos, Penny for your thoughts, in a jiffy, DCMC, which is Linda. And I always thought in a jiffy was Linda too, but I'm a little curious. Who was in a jiffy? Does anybody know? If you do, could you tell me in my chat? Okay. Penny added Kelly. Penny added DMCC. That's her name. In a jiffy, it looks like was already in there. And in a jiffy writes, so angry about the situation with Chris. I missed the live. Penny writes, yeah, it sucks, but I think he will be back. I've been trying to called and texted your bat phone, called you on here and emailed you. I was trying to see if Chris changed his mind before I went live. In a jiffy replies, no, he did not. I'm sorry that I did not answer, Penny. I was out with my boys and left my phone. Hold on. On my nightstand. We were out getting school clothes and groceries since I'm leaving tomorrow. So this doesn't sound like Linda because Linda doesn't have small children. So I don't know who In a Jiffy is. If somebody wants to fill me in, let me check. Nobody answered. Okay. Oops. I wasn't sharing. I'm sorry. Yeah, it sucks, but I think he will be back. I've been trying to text you, texted back. Okay, I read that. It's okay. The live was a success. We had a wonderful chat. Message was put out and received. I wonder if Bivens and Lawson are passing their pants. I think she meant to say pissing. In a jiffy writes, I will know shortly because we have a call. I'm just going to go through these. If I skip some, I'm sorry. I'll repost it. Again, I don't know where I got this. Laughy faces at the gift they send. Penny writes, I'm kind of nervous. They're going to be like, find this Penny person and feed her to the fish. Don't worry, Penny. I promise we will all be okay. What are you all scared of? Please let me know how it goes and what the temperature is. In a jiffy, I definitely will. If Chris would have been in that live, it probably wouldn't have gone the direction it did because planned on being quiet and letting Chris and Linda talk. Chris probably is glad he didn't join since he called out TBI in Lawson and Washington County. Odd. The next one is wait, I read that. Hold on. Here comes Kelly Fustos. Kelly Fustos enters the conversation. Hello, y'all. I just took a bike ride and am sweated myself into a cup. Yuck face. Here's Linda, DMCC. I think they will look for me before you, Penny, and no LE by my house yet. Kelly Fustos, how are you ladies doing today? Hope everyone is well. Penny, I have a massive headache, but the other meds I have are PM. I'm not ready to sleep. So, in a jiffy writes, I can relate, Penny, pounding. The EOC call is popping right now. RI and Bivens are mildly. Who the fuck is RI and Bivens? It just goes on and on and on. I'm looking for where they start talking about Rouche because this is a lot of reading. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it very large. Okay. It'll scroll up. You guys can read. And when I see Rouche, I'll stop it. Okay. Just makes it a little bit easier because this is a lot. It's not a very long video. It's only 1:08 long, but it's a lot of information. And when they get to the part about Rouche, I'm going to stop. Let me see if I could slow it down some more. This is as slow as it goes. People clip it. My kids are arguing about what to put on their burgers. I don't know. I just seen Rouche's name. But here's where I'm just going to let it play. I'm live. Quit screaming. Don't worry, Penny. I promise we will all be okay. Please let me know how it goes, what the temperature is. I definitely will. If Chris would have been in that live, it probably wouldn't have gone the direction it did because I planned on being quiet and letting Chris and Linda talk. Chris probably is glad he didn't join since I called out the TBI in Lawson and Washington County. Kelly Fusto says, hello, y'all. I just took a bike ride and I'm sweated myself into an A cup. Yuck. DCMCC, I think they will look for me before you, Penny, and no LE by my house yet. How are you ladies today? I hope everyone is well. I have a massive headache, but the other meds I have are PM and I'm not ready to sleep. So in a jiffy says, I can relate. Penny pounding, the EOC calling Popham right now. RL and Bivens are mildly annoyed and behaving like scared little boys. It must be a pet. All I can say is you reap what you sow. Kelly Fustos, how are you ladies doing? Somebody replies, pretty good, Kelly. How are you? Penny for your thoughts replies to you reap what you sow. Oh my God. I'm dying, guys. What are they saying makes you think they're scared? In a jiffy, don't stress, Penny. Rouche will get answers. I do believe in him. Because they are talking about investigative HCSD and RL said there's nothing to find and Bivens is crying about people talking about him. Rouche said we are going to talk about this until we get to the damn bottom of it. So you don't see Kelly Fustos here involved. You see In a Jiffy. Who the motherfuck is In a Jiffy? I want to know. This is good for Summer and Christopher. Rouche is not happy and said that he will not tolerate misconduct of any kind. They need to question the parents. My head is hurting too, but I'm afraid meds will knock me out and I'll be up till 2 a.m. He is alluding to the fact that FBI will be allowed to question them on Monday. He is still talking. No Rouche is going to tell these people any of this shit. Why are these people playing these games? I didn't tell you about the other night, Penny. Oh my God, please don't tell me they're going to try to shut down the channel to shut me up. That Bibbins guy seems like he'd come to find me. John Q put me to sleep, and I was sleeping so good, and you came on and shared the poop out of me. What the hell just happened? Okay. They are definitely feeling the pressure. Rouche's tone is completely different. Penny, for your thoughts. I'm so happy and so scared at the same time. Tell me why. Oh my gosh, please don't tell me they are trying to shut my channel down. And a Jiffy replies, absolutely not going to happen. They won't keep Chris down either. Chris and Rouche are very good friends. This is about Chris M. I'm not worried. Chris is very vocal about who YouTube supports. Scared at the same time. Thank you, Penny, for all you're doing. Heart. Cheers. In a jiffy. Chris and Rouche are very good friends. I am not worried. Chris is very vocal about who in YouTube he... Kelly Fusto says, thank you for all you're doing at NAJ with a heart. Yes, big thank you to all of you. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you to everyone that loves summer. Sweet, sweet baby. Dawn had another slip of the tongue about how big Summer is getting. He has either seen her in person or pictures. Can't wait to get back. I heard that. I want them to haul him in and question him. Penny says, are they talking about that? And a jiffy responds, I will work round the clock to follow him everywhere he goes. He rides the hauler like he has money to burn. So here's somebody named in a jiffy stating that they're going to stalk Dawn. Okay? And that she's working with all the TBI and FBI agents. Sad he has this much money and hasn't done crap to that shack. That's Linda. Voldemort is up on the hill now. That place is a horror scene. You wouldn't catch me up there. It's a scary place for sure. How do you know that? I threw my clothes away after the first visit and stayed in the shower for over an hour. They just gave an update on the call. I was just watching a video, it seemed around Christmas, that Summer was cleaned up, her hair nice, clothes, etc. Then about May, things changed. Were the photos part of the plan? Makes you wonder. Yes, staging. So many pictures. Summer with her legs spread open. Puke. Sickening. Waiting to hear who is on patrol tonight. Hoping someone who will arrest them. Okay, if he leaves the hill, he is to be stopped. This is 10/2/2021. Okay, if he leaves the hill, he is to be stopped and given field sobriety and tested and arrested. If anyone fails to comply, they will be disciplined accordingly. No more free passes. Asking now if everyone understands. I'm sure Rouche doesn't want any black marks on them. He used the term skid stain on his agency in the case. Didn't TCC or Scott use that on a live? Scott did. That made my night. Gives me some hope. It's time to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, and all the bullshit going on ends tonight. He expects to have a productive week and find Summer. Warning to all. Don't be in areas you have no business, and you all better be bringing your A game. This is not junior varsity. He is pissed off. Big mad. Hopefully that mad turns into progress. I have never heard him this angry. Anger can be productive and put words into actions in a jiffy. Absolutely. RL tried to interject and he just told him that. Not today, Lawson. Good for him. He needs to be put in his place. First public smackdown. I'm like, how this call is going. Hopefully they get this moving. If you are not equipped to handle yourself or duties, then it will not be a problem to replace you permanently. Oh my God. DMCC, WOA, he's getting it done. This call has been going on for an hour and a half. He's got a lot to say. Clearly, do your fucking job. Be safe and smart. Call ended. Wow. Go, Mr. Rouche. In a jiffy. Just received messages from our A1C. Ain't that like diabetes? And we are having a private call in 15 minutes. Praying it's good news for the case. Me too. Please pray. This has to change ASAP. Pow, right in the kisser. Yes, ma'am. Chris is only on Facebook at this time. You in chat? I'm on a conference call with my A1C, but listening. What is A1C? LMAO, Batwoman, agent in charge. Oh. I want to be you when I grow up. You're so cool. Funny Rouche is so mad based on what a small channel on YouTube says. He must have already suspected it all in a jiffy. Hold on. Yes, but according to Rouche, he is embarrassed by the number of calls about what are supposed to be LE professionals' conduct, and he plans to get to the bottom of it. Well, TBI and HCSD, Hawkins County Sheriff Department, hadn't been on the same page since day one. Hold on. I messed up. Okay. Not at all. Bring your A game. Preach. Tiffany and Chris on a live addressing the fake accounts. And what's next? Message her to see if he can come over after her live. If she won't respond while live, I asked her to reach out to him for me today when I couldn't get a hold of you. I even emailed him and he never replied. Nice to see him smiling though. Things will be changing in East Tennessee. Hawkins County Sheriff Department is being investigated. Please keep raising awareness about HCSD. The members of this community are financing corruption unbeknownst to them. So in a jiffy is local. Terrible crimes, Penny. Advise them to always look to leaders and demand transparency, accountability. If they see suspicious shit, report it to TBI Rouche. Email, phone number, and they will pay him for those interviews. Directed David B. Rouche. Get to know David B. Rouche. www. I shared this before. We could do that again another night if we go deeper into this. I didn't even realize I shared the same thing. It's from the TBI press room. You can go on there and read about Rouche. Come on, Bat Reed woman. Feed me words. Let me speak for you. The Rouche at tbi.gov. The Rouche. Is that email public info or will I be doxing him? TBI Media, TBI Director David Rouche. Oh my God, phew, it's old. Public, and so are the others. I'm sending you people that I know and trust. David is a fine man with a family. I have never heard him speak like he did tonight. Listen to the video on YouTube. He inherited a damn disaster taking over as director. Having a smoke myself. You go, girl. Ask the question. Why any member of LE would supply alcohol to a POI in a criminal investigation. Candace needed a 5150. Hold not an LE enabler. Reeks of wanting them out of it and not speaking. He knows who he is listening. David's email, drouche@tennessee.gov. Keep sharing great work. I'm pulling together. And I can't really see anymore. I'm going to come to chat. Who the fuck is in a jiffy? This person is saying she's working with Rouche, and Rouche is extremely pissed off. But you hear this. Let me play this news clip again. In Millersville, where they're attacking Rouche, was this a setup for Rouche? Could some YouTubers or people like Linda, I'm speculating, could they be trying to set Rouche up? Rouche is not going to be in a Discord talking to these people or recording calls or allowing people in Discord to put this information out, in my opinion. This is absolutely absurd. It's disgusting. But let's go back. Hold on, we shared this. To this news broadcast and listen to what the whole news broadcast, what's going on in Millersville and how they talk about Rouche. Why is Rouche being brought up in all these cases and all this strange shit? It's just, I'm curious. And I'd really like to know what your thoughts are.
A reasonable suspicion to believe.
Zeroes in.
Guys, I apologize. I just had a major allergy attack. My makeup is, I didn't flick the page. I apologize. I'm going to put that video back on. Please forgive me for that. I had to run to the bathroom, blow my nose, had a sneezing fit, frog in my throat. Now I'm going to take some Chloraseptic.
On Millersville Police, the department's controversial assistant chief and his allies now going on the attack. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. Not long after the TBI wrapped up its rage yesterday in Millersville, Assistant Chief Sean Taylor turned to some far-right allies to tell his story. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams has the latest.
As the TBI was raiding Millersville police on Wednesday, Sean Taylor sent out a short video to rally his allies. Before the night was up, he and his friends were throwing out some brand new allegations.
We are live with breaking news, the biggest corruption story in America.
In the darkest corners of the internet, where the most bizarre theories of the QAnon conspiracy movement abound,
From the harvesting of organs to adrenochrome. Guys, this is real stuff.
the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation raids on the Millersville Police Department are fueling new conspiracies.
Sean Taylor, Assistant Chief of Millersville Police Department, just had his home invaded with no warrant.
In fact, the search of Sean Taylor's home was based on a warrant issued by a judge.
Chief Taylor's in the house.
Oh, well, it's been a heck of a day today, gentlemen.
On another podcast, the conspiracy-minded assistant police chief presented himself as a victim.
It's very disheartening to know that you have law enforcement at the state level, district attorneys and judges that are executing search warrants on an agency that is trying to take out corruption.
Agents were looking for files that Taylor and Millersville PD may have compiled using sensitive law enforcement data as he pursued his bizarre conspiracy theories, potentially even investigating his political enemies.
And one of the TBI agents that we were looking at, and we believe we've got reasonable suspicion to believe that he's involved because his name keeps popping up. He was one of the ones that helped execute the search warrant today on us.
Taylor has claimed that some of the most powerful political figures in the world are involved in child sex trafficking, and he now claims TBI Director David Rouche was put in place by that same cabal.
Sean Taylor investigated and he found out too much. That's my personal opinion.
Also coming to Taylor's defense, the man behind what appears to have been a botched child predator sting run by a controversial nonprofit group out of Tucson. Following questions raised by News Channel 5 Investigates, agents were looking for evidence that the lead detective in that case may have committed perjury.
So that's inside baseball. That's law enforcement stuff. That's not the business of any news reporter, and that's not my business. So
while the TBI continues its investigation, Sean Taylor and his allies are hoping to rally like-minded people to rise up in opposition to the scrutiny he now faces.
This needs to reach the highest levels. This needs to go national.
And there was some talk in Sean Taylor circles that they do expect some prominent people on the far, far right to soon come to his defense. Of course, we'll be watching. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
Okay, so, wow, I got through my content almost an hour early. I thought that would take longer with all the reading. God, please, I gotta sneeze again. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second here. Maybe not. It wouldn't come out. I'm having like a major allergy attack. I'm trying to smoke my joint I rolled and never smoked. I'm sweating to death. It is 9:04 and I'm hot as fuck. It's 70 degrees still at 9:04 at night and humid as hell. My kids are downstairs cooking. It's making it hotter. Hi, Lorianne. But what do you guys think of this? We can watch some more about Millersville if you want, because I feel like, hold on, guys. I feel like there's a lot to this. I'm going to go back to some stuff I didn't share earlier. Here's some Millersville commissioners stand up with assistant police chief. So there are some people in the area that agree with this guy. So let's listen.
In our ongoing coverage of Millersville's conspiracy cop.
Tonight, city officials are standing with their assistant police chief and his conspiracy theories regarding Nashville's Covenant School shooting. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Rory Johnston. Among his many bizarre ideas, Sean Taylor has falsely argued that police video from the shooting was actually staged. That's why our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, went back to Millersville.
And Phil, it's just simply unbelievable that everyone is not condemning this.
No doubt about that. To understand what we saw last night, this is important. These are the 5 members of the Millersville City Commission. The 3-member majority, the ones on the top row, are backed by the far-right group Sumner County Constitutional Republicans. They believe the Republican Party is too liberal, and they are the ones standing behind Sean Taylor.
Call to order the Millersville Board of Commissioners.
As the Millersville City Commission gathered for its monthly work session, one commissioner had an issue weighing on his mind.
I think Sean Taylor needs to apologize to the Covenant victims.
David Gregory's concern followed the News Channel 5 investigation.
The people know, the 3 of us know, something's not right. It doesn't pass the smell test.
That uncovered a podcast in which Sean Taylor, the man who's now Millersville's assistant police chief, spread bogus conspiracy theories about the Covenant School shooting, a tragic mass murder in which 3 children were gunned down in cold blood, along with 3 staff members.
What I'm seeing there, it looks more like a training op.
Taylor falsely claimed this police video of officers rushing into the school and confronting the shooter was actually staged.
And he needs to apologize to the victim's family at Covenant shooting and also Metro Police for what he said about them.
But David Gregory's plea got no response. So when the meeting was over, I had questions. First for the mayor. Do you think that Sean Taylor owes the Covenant families an apology?
You know, I haven't seen that.
Tommy Long claimed he had not seen our investigation, which showed Taylor falsely claiming that the brave staff members who helped guide police to the shooter were, in his words, role-playing.
I've heard talk about what was said, but as far as me listening to it, I haven't seen it.
Is it not important for you to listen to?
I haven't had a chance.
And what about Taylor's boss, Police Chief Brian Morris, who's now serving as city manager? Chief, does Sean Taylor owe the Covenant families an apology?
I don't have anything to say to you.
He is your employee. Does he owe the Covenant families an apology?
The reason why I'm not going to say anything to you is because I don't like you.
Still, I wanted to know what Morris would say to the family of Covenant School headmaster Catherine Kuntz, who gave her life trying to stop the shooter.
You guys know that I'm digging into the child trafficking and human trafficking.
Sean Taylor had falsely accused the beloved hero of being involved in child sex trafficking. Here's the question, though. What about the Covenant families?
If you research well enough to at least spell my name right, I'm not going to talk to you.
So this is personal. You don't care about the Covenant families, Chief?
I didn't say that. I said I wasn't.
You said you were more concerned about the spelling of your name.
That's not what I said, but that's your twist.
One of the commissioners, Alyssa Hewling, had appeared to scoff out loud when Gregory brought up Covenant, something she denied as she left the meeting. Do you think Mr. Taylor owes the Covenant families an apology?
You ready to go to your car? Sure.
Did you say you were running late for that?
Yes.
It's a really simple question.
I haven't looked into all of the documentations of what has been coming at us.
I couldn't believe what I was not hearing. It takes a man to apologize. So what are we dealing with here?
David Gregory and Christina Template say the silence by their fellow commissioners about Sean Taylor's Covenant conspiracies speaks volumes.
They don't care enough to care about the people that lost lives, their families, that it's been reopened. That shocked me. I was pretty shocked about that.
As for the man who really controls Sean Taylor's fate, should he apologize to the Covenant families, Chief?
I think you should do better research.
Should he apologize, Chief? And by the way, I checked our website, and as far as I could find, I have never misspelled the chief's name, which of course has nothing to do anyway with Sean Taylor's Covenant conspiracies. My investigation continues tomorrow at 6 with more questions that arose from that crazy, crazy meeting. Rory.
over Millersville's conspiracy cop, first uncovered by News Channel 5 Investigates, has now become the latest scandal rocking this small town just north of Nashville.
And now 2 city commissioners want a special meeting to figure out how Sean Taylor landed his job as the city's assistant police chief. Our chief investigative reporter Phil Williams first broke this story. Phil, this really blew up last night at the city commission meeting.
Yeah, no doubt about that. At the center of the controversy is this question: do you want a high-ranking police official with a gun, badge, and the power to arrest people who believes bizarre conspiracy theories with no real evidence?
Given the importance of public trust and ensuring the integrity of our police department, it is crucial that these issues are addressed.
This was the calm before the storm as 2 Millersville city commissioners asked for a special called meeting to review the hiring of the town's assistant police chief. Sean Taylor, seen here at a previous commission meeting, was a no-show on this night.
We are going to wipe these people from this earth.
A conspiracy theorist who's appeared on numerous podcasts.
As I started digging, that's when they started to come after me.
Taylor is a self-described gypsy cop who's had and lost police jobs across the state, sometimes keeping a job for just a few months at a time.
I'm struggling with what the outcome of this is going to be.
That's what we're going to find out. That's why I'm asking. We're asking for this meeting.
Police Chief Brian Morris, who brought Taylor with him to Millersville earlier this year, did not like the request.
We're going to discuss this in an open meeting. That's what I want to do.
You want a circus?
I don't want a circus. He started the circus.
Those podcasts are years old.
I don't care. It was said and I heard it, and the people of the city heard it, and they deserve it.
Well, the people of the city have heard some commissioners say some pretty crazy and outlandish things that weren't true.
Well,
so should we investigate them too?
In fact, the podcasts reviewed by News Channel 5 Investigates were all in the last 18 months, including the podcast where he accuses the area's district attorney of being on the take.
The point is two commissioners asked for a special call meeting, and by charter we are allowed to do that.
Yes. But what is the meeting for?
It's on the
We
sheet.
got questions to ask the Assistant Chief Taylor, especially that's what we seen on News Channel 5 last night, presented by Mr. Phil Williams.
And that goes against what policy?
Commissioner David Gregory argues that the city attorney's relationship with Taylor is a problem. Brant Kroll sued Millersville when Taylor was previously fired. He now represents Taylor and the chief in their lawsuit against the town of Ridgetop that also fired them.
That's a conflict of interest. I brought it out. Didn't go nowhere.
Can we talk to you?
Nope. So did you know about all these conspiracy theories?
I didn't make it.
Well, why won't you talk to us about this, Chief?
I don't have anything to say to you.
Is this the type of behavior you expect from a police officer? There were also questions about what happened when I tracked down Taylor last week.
You said in one podcast that if you don't see anything suspicious, you find that to be suspicious. Do you not find that to be crazy talk?
No, I don't, Mr.
He referred to me by my late wife's last name.
Sure, I can go ahead and comment about the issues, whether there were city resources used to investigate a journalist, and that's absolutely untrue.
As for the bizarre conspiracy theories that Taylor has espoused, the Millersville mayor says he's not concerned.
He wasn't employed at that time.
But is that the type of person who should have arrest power in the city of Millersville?
I think Sean Taylor is a very good police officer.
So will there be a special meeting? Will the mayor, after conferring with the Millersville city attorney, who, as you noted, is Sean Taylor and the chief's attorney, suing another town where they lost their jobs, said he would, quote, get back with the commission about scheduling that meeting.
Let me get this straight. You have the attorney representing both the city and 2 of their employees. How is that not a conflict?
Well, we asked Mr. Kroll that very question. He insisted he doesn't think this is an issue, but other attorneys in the area see it differently.
So more to come.
You've heard me say it before, definitely.
All right, we'll be watching.
As our audience may or may not know, we've been sitting on a mountain of intelligence
for child sex trafficking that's been happening in Tennessee. And it involves some very high profile people. And on the advice of our attorney, we're not going to release that until a certain police department there executes some warrants that have been given to them by judges, but they haven't actually executed them. But the evidence we've seen is pretty brutal as far as child sex trafficking in Tennessee is concerned. So when you have a TDA member arrested in Tennessee, chances are really, really high that they're involved in child sex trafficking, also because it's their number one revenue generator, which Victor Avila shared with us. The next piece, a serious question, Jeff, and forgive me for saying this, but how come every single one of these men in particular, like,
Sorry. I hope you guys understand where I'm getting at. I truly believe there's some sort of ring going on here, and they're trying to destroy the TBI and the people on Summer's case. Linda, I want to know, your son passed away in 2005. Why won't you let Penny share that story? I would like to hear it. I think it's important, since you played games with people all the way across the state of Tennessee involved in murder billboards. I can't get this off my mind. It's bothering me. You have lips reading messages where she's pretending to be fake TBI people to Dawn. This seems to be a pattern with lips in her people, in my opinion, based off of the things I'm seeing. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay. Like, there is seriously something wrong with what's going on. Here's another video right here on my algorithm. Let's check this out. TBI limits Millersville's access. Oh, here it is. This is the video I wanted to share with you guys this morning. I think this one's really important.
Months of scandal may finally be catching up with the Millersville Police Department, at least if you believe what the police chief has to say.
Once we start getting this bad publicity, our access starts getting cut off to financial reports, FinCEN. We can't do investigations.
Here, making his own appearance on a far-right podcast, Millersville Police Chief Brian Morris claimed his department is now cut off from one of the most sensitive law enforcement data sources available.
We don't have everything in this office that we need.
You need the tools provided by federal law enforcement and other agencies and state agencies.
And now we're being denied that.
The Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, sometimes known as FinCEN, is a program run by the U.S. Department of Treasury that can give police access to certain banking and other financial records of individuals when there's a legitimate law enforcement purpose. Morris claims that because of our investigations into his conspiracy-minded Assistant Police Chief Sean Taylor, the TBI has now cut them off.
Have they given you a good reason that they're denying you access?
No, I've actually called down there and talked to them, and what I've been told is that we're on hold because they're auditing us.
We ran what's called a FinCEN report, which is a financial report where they produce what's called a SARS report.
As part of Taylor's many bizarre conspiracy theories, including claims that some of the nation's most powerful political figures are involved in child sex trafficking, the Millersville assistant chief has sometimes boasted about having access to sensitive data linked to some powerful people, included the banking records for U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn's campaign.
See, as a matter of fact, there may be somebody that's close to her who's already provided that. Just so you know, file about yay thick.
The TBI declined to comment. Still, individuals who have been interviewed say TBI agents are trying to determine if Taylor or anyone else at Millersville used law enforcement databases, including the FinCEN data, to investigate their political enemies. Chief Morris insisted it's not true.
But these reports we run, we're not running them on just everybody we don't like. We're running them for a legit reason. And the ones that we had received back, we got what we thought we were going to get.
But it turns out Millersville doesn't just have a conspiracy cop, they've also apparently got a conspiracy chief. In fact, if Morris is to be believed, you'd also have to believe in time travel.
You know, my assistant chief's house got shot up.
It got shot up?
It did.
I hadn't heard this. Tell me about that.
You know, it was because he had been looking into things that people didn't want him looking into.
Take, for example, Sean Taylor's report that someone shot up his house. Chief Morris claims it's my fault.
The reason why his house is so accessible to anybody is because News Channel 5 posted his address.
Oh, so this clown reports his address and then he gets shot up.
Yeah.
Not only did News Channel 5 never post Taylor's home address, the alleged shooting occurred more than a year before my stories.
Even though this whole thing was just designed to undermine your ability to go after a child trafficking network.
Yeah, 100%.
In the podcast, the police chief appears to express support for the bogus Pizzagate hoax that Democrats kept child sex slaves locked up in the basement of this D.C. pizza parlor.
As well, you know, it looks more true than we'd like to think.
Yeah.
Then there's the child sex predator sting run by Millersville with a group of MAGA activists, a sting also now being investigated by the TBI.
Can we chat at the house or should we not wait until?
Cannot chat without one of the officers present.
Okay.
Secret recordings obtained by News Channel 5 Investigates from that sting show it was volunteers who were posing online as a 12-year-old girl, not police as required by state law. But when one case went to court, the lead detective testified that Millersville police did all the texting. In another podcast, the chief insisted that was all true.
I had two detectives that worked that were there the whole time that were the ones, you know, we actually have video of them doing the texting and sending the messages.
They needed videos of that law enforcement chatting.
I'm not getting your faces.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, but they wanted to show law enforcement, not us touching the phones.
In fact, the recordings show there were conversations about having the detectives pose for videos as if they were the ones doing the texting. But the chief's claims did not surprise us. After all, Morris had also claimed we had never tried to get his side of the story.
I'm not sure what Channel 5, specifically Phil Williams, has against us. I have no idea. He hasn't talked to me.
Can we talk to you? Nope. So did you know about all these conspiracy theories? Well, why won't you talk to us about this, Chief?
I don't have anything to say to you.
In fact, we had tried more than once.
The reason why I'm not going to say anything to you is because I don't like you.
Perhaps most shocking to me personally came when Morris was asked about what he thought was the reason for my investigation.
You know, the only thing I can think is that you are a pedophile or you're covering for somebody that is. That's the only issue or the only reason I can come up with.
Phil Williams, News Channel 5 Investigates.
I definitely ended my content a little too early tonight. I didn't plan enough. I really did think that my reading would be longer, but I get impatient and I didn't read all into shit. But I will just remind me if I don't post it. But before I get off of here, I want to go find an update on Al Gore, you're a piece of shit. Meet Millersville conspiracy cop. We'll watch more tomorrow. But right now I want to go over that case in Seattle. Let me try to find a news clip for it. I know I clicked something earlier. Here we go. Was this the newest update on search of father charged with unaliving his 3 daughters? Let me check the date. This was 1 day ago. I seen something. Here we go. Here's something from 4 hours ago. I want to go over a little bit and watch a few things on this before we go. We have one from 6 hours ago and 4 hours ago. Let's do the 6 hours ago one first.
His 3 daughters in Chelan County. Detectives releasing new Ring camera video and photos of Travis Decker. As Como Theron-Zahn reports, authorities hope that will increase the chance of a sighting that will lead to his capture.
Finding Decker in the wilderness of central Washington will not be an easy job, but hundreds of volunteers say they're not going to stop until they get justice for his 3 girls he's accused of killing. New Ring video shows what investigators say is the last record of Travis Decker before his 3 young daughters were killed. Police are also giving out these new pictures of him. They want the public to get a good look, so if they spot him, they can call 911. In the air and on the ground, the search continues in the vast wilderness of Chelan County, looking for any trace of the military veteran who has extensive experience in living off the grid, even attending mountain survival school.
He could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge.
Was that last year or the year before, the guy that escaped from prison? This search here in Pennsylvania, anybody remember that? This reminds me of that a little bit. That guy and the Brian Laundrie, when he went missing, like, people just go into them woods and they disappear. Like, what the hell, dude? Oh, here's one from 2 hours ago. And here's one from 1 hour ago. We'll watch a few. Maybe I'll put up the two. I'll be able to make up for the 2 hours.
To survive.
While the search goes on, tributes for his 3 daughters continue to come in, with the tragic case getting attention across the country. We're told Decker's parents are cooperating with the investigation.
This is their son, so of course that they have concerns about his safety, but overall they understand that he does have to be brought in and he has to be held accountable for his actions.
It's not known if he is in fact in the wilderness right now, but given his survival skills, that is where the strongest assumption is. But again, the call is going out nationwide to be on the lookout for Decker. Reporting in Seattle, Theron-Zahn, Como News.
Today could be a critical day in the investigation. The victim's autopsy results will come out. That should give deputies a much better understanding of when the girls died and how much of a head start Decker could have. We've posted all of those photos of Decker and that new Ring video on comonews.com. In Wenatchee, a memorial for the Decker girls grows by the day. People visiting and reflecting on the tragic and sudden passing of those 3 sisters. The town is still in shock about what's happened this week.
I was legit hoping that they come home safe. When I found out they no longer here, it's hard. It hurts me. It hurts almost the whole family out in this community.
The community is doing what it can now to help support.
I'll do that tomorrow, Mama. I'll write it down. I have some other stuff too that I want to share tomorrow with Jack Hammer and Jamie. I'm going to go look for, I wanted to look for these Discords. That was part of my notes. So I went and found those. But yeah, we could do that, but I'll do it tomorrow, Mama. We'll go over the area. I know it's near Seattle. And I have a friend, I'm going to check in with her. I haven't done that today. I've been busy working on this all day. And then I went and gambled a little bit with my son. Shh. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I will. I'm live. Okay, well, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to let this play. He said something's going on outside. I'll be right back.
So I'm Amy Edwards, and this is Mark Belton, and we are both friends of Whitney Decker and the Decker family.
To our community, the Wenatchee Valley, thank you. The outpouring of love, generosity, and support has been overwhelming, not only here in the Wenatchee Valley, but from the communities around the world. We are deeply moved and profoundly grateful. Seeing everyone come together and unite in support of this family has been humbling and reminds us of what makes the Wenatchee Valley so special. That compassion has been a source of light in this dark hour.
This valley helped nurture the creativity, confidence, and joy that Peyton and Evelyn and Olivia shined so brightly. Whether it was performing on stage with Short Shakespeareans and Music Theater of Wenatchee, dancing with the Fabulous Feet Dance Studio, playing sports, or walking the halls of Lincoln Elementary, their laughter, curiosity, and spirit left a mark on all of us. They were the kind of children that everyone rooted for, looked forward to seeing, and held close in their hearts. They are cherished, not just by the family, but by our entire community who watched them grow, perform, learn, and love. We ache with the love we still carry for them, and we always will.
Whitney is living every parent's worst nightmare. The hole in her heart is immeasurable. There are no words that can capture the weight of this loss. Right now, she's surrounded by friends, family, and neighbors doing everything they can to hold her up.
To the media, we ask for grace at this time. Whitney is grieving the unimaginable. Should she not have to do so under a spotlight? Please allow her the space and privacy and compassion that she deserves. Your restraint is a true act of humanity, and we appreciate it. We are focused on fully cooperating with investigators so that Travis Decker is found, apprehended, and brought to justice. This case is ongoing, and all legal updates will come from law enforcement.
The generosity we've seen from right here in the Wenatchee Valley and nationwide has not only brought comfort during this heartbreaking time, it also sparked some important conversations. We're talking about how we raise awareness and advocate for improvements to the Amber Alert system, and how we address and expand access to mental health resources for veterans, especially in the context of family and custody cases. While nothing can undo this tragedy, we're hopeful that these conversations will lead to change that honor Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn's memory.
We end with a message shared by mothers all across the world. When one mother cries, we all cry and hold her in our heart. Thank you for holding Whitney in your hearts now.
Thank you.
Is there anything that people watching can do to help in any way?
So there is a group, and we ask that they look that up on Facebook, where they can see ways that they can support this movement, and we'll take no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you all.
If you are just tuning in, you just saw a press conference with Amy Edwards and Mark Belton. They are good friends of Whitney Decker and the Decker family, describing Whitney going through, quote, living every parent's worst nightmare right now with the death of their three daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Tonight, the victim's family is giving new insight into Travis Decker's mental health struggles leading to the devastating discovery of his daughter's bodies. And Wenatchee police say they have new leads in their widespread search of rugged terrain. KOMO's Jackie Kent spoke with the family's attorney about how they're helping with this ongoing investigation. Jackie?
And Mary, as this community of Wenatchee continues to mourn these three girls, I'm going to step aside so you can see this growing memorial. The attorney for their mother, Whitney Decker, tells me they don't know where Travis could be at this point, but that they...
We'll definitely look at it tomorrow. There's something going on my street. There's police at the bottom of my hill, and my son wanted me to see it. I don't know what the hell is going on, so I'm going to go be a nebby neighbor. If you guys don't know, that's a Pittsburgh word. Nosy. I'm going to finish this video up, and then I'm going to go see what in the heck is going on outside my house. If it's anything good, I'll go live from my phone. All right. It's just one cop car.
They are working.
Welcome to the hood.
With law enforcement to provide cell phone records and any information that could help police find him. If you take a look at your screen, you'll see one new photo that police just released of Decker to show his distinct tattoos in hopes the public might be able to spot him. Wenatchee police tell us they've gathered new information, giving them more leads to follow up on. This after executing search warrants on electronic devices belonging to Decker. Attorney Ariana Cozart helped Whitney with her custody case for Peyton and Evelyn and Olivia. She tells me a judge last September recommended Travis get a psychiatric evaluation and treatment, but that Travis needed an advocate and had no luck getting those services by himself. She believes that added to the former Army Ranger's known mental health problems, including PTSD and borderline personality disorder. Still, she says Whitney never questioned his ability to care for their kids.
No one believes.
You know what's sad? We see so many. Remember the pew-pewing in Fort Hood, I think it was? We see so many of our military veterans untreated for mental health. And I don't understand why. It bothers me, and it bothers me deeply. I feel, in my opinion, I have a family member that was in the Army. We've been talking about him. And I believe he has mental health issues after being overseas. And he's told me some stories back when we liked each other, before he hurt my sister so badly. He's told me some stories of things he's been through overseas when he was in the Army and not a contractor, you know? So they see a lot of things overseas that are scary, that cause mental, like he's seen what I was told was an unaliving of a child. He would tell me how the people overseas would cook for them and they would get close to the families, and then they would have to see something like that. And he had a friend that was unalived by an IUD, whatever they're called. So they go overseas and they come back, and I feel like it should be mandatory for them to get mental health treatment. It really does affect our soldiers when they go fight for us mentally. And this case is sad all around because we're hearing he had a lot of problems. And then you got these 3 babies. I mean, I don't forgive this dude at all. They're babies, but the whole situation probably could have been prevented had he had proper mental health services when coming back from overseas. That's just my opinion on it. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys a story before we finish this. Watch yourself. Something happened today in my family that was scary. My son brought a nug of weed home. Where he works, somebody came in and handed it to him. He didn't know what to do with it, but when he brought it home, it was completely pink. We looked it up. It was laced with pink Coca-Cola. We threw it away, but that's very dangerous, and that could have hurt me if it would have had fentanyl on it. It could have hurt my grandbabies. That's extremely scary. Please, guys, know where you're getting your cannabis from. Try to get it from dispensary the best you can. It's a dangerous world we live in. Thank God we got rid of it, but that's exactly what somebody gave my daughter-in-law for free today. It was my daughter-in-law, and she didn't know. She just brought it home. She's like, look at this. And she showed it to us, and I told my son, I'm like, I wouldn't fucking smoke that. So then I guess he did get paranoid because he was trying to say that the guy told him it was dyed with food coloring or something. The guy told my daughter-in-law that. Yeah, it's scary, man. Watch where you're getting your shit, and don't be smoking no strange colored weed anybody gives you or that you find on the streets. Just don't fucking do it. Scary fucking world we live in. All right, here, let me finish this.
That Travis was ever capable of this. He was a loving father. He did love those girls. His behavior really hadn't changed that much with Whitney. But when she started hearing after they all went missing, some of the red flags that were happening in other areas of his life, then I think she suspected the worst.
She says Whitney believes the young girls may also have been saved had there been an Amber Alert issued Friday when they didn't return home from a visit with their dad, and hopes for statewide reform to change the qualifications for those alerts. At the time, State Patrol says there was no suspicion of an abduction. Back out here live, the outpouring of support continues for Whitney and the family, both at the memorial and through an online donation site that so far is nearing close to $900,000. I'll send it back to you.
Jackie, have police narrowed down their search area tonight, or have they given any more specifics about possible new leads?
No specifics at this point. Unfortunately, we know they continue their search on the ground and by air near Leavenworth, which is about 45 minutes from here. The past couple of nights, Mary, we were here when State Patrol and Wenatchee Police also held press conferences with their search updates. And tonight they say they're not planning to hold another one of those. So we continue to check in, and we'll let you know as soon as we learn anything more specific.
Jackie, thank you. Authorities are telling visitors to avoid Icicle Creek, and the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is warning people who own property or live in remote areas of Chelan, Kittitas, King, Snohomish, and Okanagan counties to lock all their doors, including any sheds or outbuildings. Right now, several campgrounds and trailheads are closed as the manhunt continues, and we have a list of affected sites. Just go to comonews.com to see the comprehensive list of campground, trailhead, and any road closures. And stay with Como News as we track the latest developments in the story. We'll have the newest information for you on the air and online at comonews.com.
All right, guys, I'm going to conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for was at this live. I had gotten 2 super chats. You guys rock. I just think a lot of this stuff is extremely, extremely important. Does it connect to Summers' case? I don't know, but I find the similarities to what's going on in Millersville and the people that have connected themselves in Summers' case extremely similar. I really think it's worth going over the other church, Lamplight. There's just so much to cover when it comes to this Millersville stuff. There's so many parts to it and so much research that could be done on it. And I think that it's important that we do that because this all connects to Tennessee and to missing children, to things like Ernie. And I want you to remember, I didn't do it yet. I have it on my list. I have to go across the things I did on my list off. And I've been writing down so much, I want to kind of slow down a little bit and just go over the things I found. There's always more to find when you re-listen, Like you could listen to a few things and have 1,000,000 hours of content. For real. There's so much to go back on and listen to. Something that bothers me about this part of Tennessee is I love Ryan Upchurch. I love his music. I think he's a smart man, and I think he's been calling out a shit ton of corruption himself. But I also know that he has involved himself in true crime cases, and something that really makes me mad and always has, and that I called out, is that he offered this reward for Summer and then he pulled out of it and we never heard about it again. So you hear people saying there's big names and there's this and there's that, but then you have people like Music City Mom, who had played a lot of games in this case, and she has been stated in chat saying she's from the Nashville area. I still think this goes all over the United States and connects to so much more because of the We Can Bring You Hope people. But I truly believe there's something much more bigger going on. And for me, it has a feel of politics on it. A lot of conspiracies, worse than what we do here on YouTube. Or at least than what I do. We do a lot of conspiracy shit too when it comes to Summers' case. That's why it's important to say you're speculating or it's your opinion. However, this goes deep and it's within politics. It's being reported on the news for over a year. I'm sure there's new things to look into and it's not done. It's still a thing. You got Sebastian missing from that side. How many people were missing in Tennessee? Layla, Holland, that other girl nobody covers. I can't even remember her name because nobody covers, but I've shared her picture. I'd like to go find out her story. There are so many missing people in Tennessee, and it bothers me deeply, especially when you see the amount of corruption or people trying to interfere in cases. And to me, this feels like a whole lot of people trying to interfere with real life agents on these cases. It's scary to me, and I think it needs to be researched and shared out. Then you add, earlier I shared, there's also a religion moving to this area, and it's all about white supremacy and the real far, far right. I feel like there's also an aspect of really, really far left here. Watch my earlier live. I explain it in a little bit of better detail. But I am going to get off of here. I have almost made it to my 2-hour mark. I managed. J's used to be J's. Now we don't know what's out there. And it's sad, in my honest opinion. Yeah, well, the fan put my cigarette out. It's my last one, too. Shit. There's just so many players. You know what I mean? You don't know. It's just very confusing. You have to try to decipher it, but we're getting closer here because what I'm finding, in my opinion, maybe it's speculation, maybe it ain't. I'm asking people to grab links, but what I'm finding is Linda is connecting to these areas out near Nashville with people involved in this billboard thing. And then you see that Chasing Justice on her stating she's friends with Tiffany, and I have offered her a link so many times, and I'm trying to be nice and understand, but her non wanting to talk about it or explain in greater detail, and I read her comments to me earlier, it's really bothering me. And I don't, like, I'm not sitting here trying to be rude, but it looks funny to me. You know, you're finding these people that are connected to that part of Tennessee that have involved themselves in Summer's case. And to me, that's scary, especially when I went over earlier, this religious group is coming in. And just like Rogersville, there's a lot of land being sold. Again, give my earlier live a watch. This may be a conspiracy myself, but I feel it's worth going over and listening to and trying to figure out, because Linda has involved herself deeply, extremely deeply in some cases, in my opinion. And I feel as though I'm speculating that it's an obsession with her. The question is why? How deep and dark do you go, Linda? It's too much. All right, guys. I'm going to go. Peace and love. I'll see you tomorrow. You know, I'm trying to do 2 lives a day. It's helping. And I appreciate you guys all being here and supporting me and finally listening to some of the things that I've been wanting to say for a long time. However, this is new to me. The Lisa Key is new to me. It's troubling. I'd like these people to try to take me to court. What in the fuck shit is this? Playing games with government officials. It's gross. All right, guys. But good night. Peace and love to you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.